WNBA, I'm talking players, coaches, and refs. They're all a bunch of Caitlin Clark haters. They're all a bunch of jealous haters. Yep.
The sports world erupted in controversy after Megyn Kelly directly targeted Caitlin Clark over her recent remarks on white privilege, and fans can't stop talking about it. The clash unfolded across social media and news outlets, with Kelly criticizing Clark's comments and questioning her perspective, while Clark fired back with a measured yet pointed response that quickly went viral. What began as a statement about systemic issues in sports and society quickly turned into a heated exchange, with both women dominating headlines and online conversations. Fans, analysts, and journalists immediately weighed in, dissecting every word, facial expression, and tweet for hidden meaning, bias, and intent. Reaction videos, live-stream debates, and meme compilations spread like wildfire, sparking discussion not just about Clark's statement, but about media accountability, freedom of speech, and the pressures that high-profile athletes face when speaking out on sensitive topics. Supporters of Caitlin Clark praised her courage for addressing complex social issues, arguing that she was using her platform to raise awareness and spark meaningful dialogue. Others aligned with Megyn Kelly, questioning whether Clark's framing was accurate or oversimplified, and debating how public figures should approach sensitive topics. The exchange highlighted a deeper tension: the fine line between raising awareness and facing scrutiny, and the role that media personalities play in shaping public perception. As the story spread, insiders suggested that this confrontation could have lasting implications for both Clark's public image and Megyn Kelly's credibility in sports commentary. Fans dissected past interviews, statements, and public appearances, searching for patterns and context, while analysts debated the larger cultural significance of the feud. Every post, tweet, and story became part of a narrative that extended far beyond the initial exchange, demonstrating how modern media amplifies controversy and transforms individual moments into global conversations. With millions watching and reacting in real time, Caitlin Clark's bold response underscored her resilience and ability to navigate scrutiny, while Megyn Kelly's critique ignited widespread debate over fairness, representation, and accountability in media coverage. One thing is clear: this story is far from over, and every new statement could change the narrative yet again. The sports world erupted in controversy after Megyn Kelly directly targeted Caitlin Clark over her recent remarks on white privilege, and fans can't stop talking about it. The clash unfolded across social media and news outlets, with Kelly criticizing Clark's comments and questioning her perspective, while Clark fired back with a measured yet pointed response that quickly went viral. What began as a statement about systemic issues in sports and society quickly turned into a heated exchange, with both women dominating headlines and online conversations. Fans, analysts, and journalists immediately weighed in, dissecting every word, facial expression, and tweet for hidden meaning, bias, and intent. Reaction videos, live-stream debates, and meme compilations spread like wildfire, sparking discussion not just about Clark's statement, but about media accountability, freedom of speech, and the pressures that high-profile athletes face when speaking out on sensitive topics. Supporters of Caitlin Clark praised her courage for addressing complex social issues, arguing that she was using her platform to raise awareness and spark meaningful dialogue. Others aligned with Megyn Kelly, questioning whether Clark's framing was accurate or oversimplified, and debating how public figures should approach sensitive topics. The exchange highlighted a deeper tension: the fine line between raising awareness and facing scrutiny, and the role that media personalities play in shaping public perception. As the story spread, insiders suggested that this confrontation could have lasting implications for both Clark's public image and Megyn Kelly's credibility in sports commentary. Fans dissected past interviews, statements, and public appearances, searching for patterns and context, while analysts debated the larger cultural significance of the feud. Every post, tweet, and story became part of a narrative that extended far beyond the initial exchange, demonstrating how modern media amplifies controversy and transforms individual moments into global conversations. With millions watching and reacting in real time, Caitlin Clark's bold response underscored her resilience and ability to navigate scrutiny, while Megyn Kelly's critique ignited widespread debate over fairness, representation, and accountability in media coverage. One thing is clear: this story is far from over, and every new statement could change the narrative yet again. The sports world was set ablaze when Megyn Kelly publicly challenged Caitlin Clark over her comments about white privilege, sparking an online firestorm that has dominated headlines, social media, and fan conversations. What began as a statement from Clark reflecting on systemic issues in sports quickly turned into a heated confrontation between one of the most prominent female athletes in basketball and a high-profile media personality. Clips of Kelly critiquing Clark went viral almost immediately, with millions replaying the segment, dissecting every gesture, inflection, and nuance. Simultaneously, Clark's response, calm, yet pointed, was shared widely across platforms, amplifying her voice and drawing support from fans, fellow athletes, and commentators. Social media became a battleground of opinion, with viewers analyzing every word to determine whether Clark had overstepped, whether Kelly was justified in her criticism, or whether this confrontation highlighted larger societal issues. The moment illustrated how quickly a single statement can escalate into a global conversation, especially when it involves polarizing topics and influential figures. Reaction videos, Twitter threads, and Instagram posts exploded across platforms as fans tried to parse the exchange. Some praised Caitlin Clark for speaking candidly about privilege and social dynamics, noting that few athletes of her age or stature are willing to engage in these conversations publicly. Supporters emphasized the importance of using one's platform responsibly, arguing that Clark's comments could spark meaningful dialogue about fairness, equality, and representation in sports and society at large. Others, however, sided with Megyn Kelly, questioning Clark's framing of white privilege and suggesting that her comments were oversimplified or misrepresented. The clash of opinions turned a single interaction into a multi-layered discussion, where each side brought historical context, personal experience, and social commentary into the debate. Within the media world, insiders noted that this confrontation had larger implications for both parties. Caitlin Clark, already a rising star in women's basketball, had now become a focal point in cultural and social debates beyond the court. Every interview, post-game appearance, and social media update was examined under a microscope, with fans and commentators analyzing her tone, body language, and word choice. Megyn Kelly, a seasoned media personality, faced questions about journalistic responsibility and tone, with critics arguing that her approach might be interpreted as dismissive or targeted. Executives and producers within media organizations were reportedly monitoring the situation closely, understanding that the viral exchange could impact ratings, public perception, and professional relationships. Social media reactions were immediate and intense. Memes, compilations, and reaction videos spread rapidly, each offering a unique interpretation of the confrontation. Live streams dissected every angle, and fans debated who won the exchange, with opinions split along lines of support for Clark's candor or Kelly's critique. Hashtags related to the story trended globally, dominating conversations for hours and driving traffic to news outlets, sports forums, and YouTube channels. The viral nature of the moment illustrated the modern media ecosystem. A single comment or interaction can ripple across platforms, influencing fan perception, public discourse, and professional reputations in real time. At the center of the storm was Caitlin Clark, whose talent and composure had already earned widespread acclaim. Her engagement with sensitive social issues, however, elevated her beyond the realm of sports and into cultural discourse. Analysts debated how Clark's response to Kelly might affect her career trajectory, public image, and influence within the sports community. Would her willingness to address controversial topics earn her lasting respect, or would critics continue to scrutinize her every word? The situation also prompted conversations about gender, media scrutiny, and the expectations placed on female athletes when engaging in social commentary. It became clear that this confrontation was not just a debate over words, but a defining moment highlighting the complex intersection of performance, public perception, and social responsibility in modern athletics. The fallout extended beyond social media. Commentators, journalists, and analysts contributed their perspectives, breaking down the exchange for hours, sometimes days, after it aired. Industry insiders debated whether Clark's statement was brave or risky, while others examined Kelly's critique in the context of media ethics and responsibility. Each analysis added layers to the narrative, reinforcing the perception that this was more than a simple confrontation. It was a cultural flashpoint that revealed tensions between athletes, media figures, and audiences in a highly interconnected digital world. Fans waited with bated breath for the next move, knowing that every tweet, interview, or statement could reshape the conversation entirely. By the end of the day, it was evident that the confrontation between Megyn Kelly and Caitlin Clark had become a landmark moment in sports media. A single comment had sparked debate, viral discussion, and social commentary across platforms, engaging millions of viewers and shaping public perception of both women. Clark's response, measured yet firm, demonstrated her ability to navigate scrutiny with poise, while Kelly's critique reminded audiences of the enduring influence media personalities have in shaping cultural narratives. The story was far from over, and fans were already anticipating the next chapter in this unfolding saga, where every new development had the potential to redefine the conversation once again. The fallout from Megyn Kelly's critique of Caitlin Clark continued to spread across social media, dominating sports forums, news outlets, and fan conversations. Clips of the confrontation were replayed countless times, with viewers dissecting every word, pause, and gesture. Memes and reaction videos quickly went viral, exaggerating expressions and reactions for comedic or dramatic effect. Fans debated whether Clark had overstepped in addressing white privilege, or whether Kelly had been unfair in her critique. The discussion went beyond individual opinions, evolving into a larger debate about media responsibility, the scrutiny female athletes face, and the consequences of speaking openly on sensitive social issues. Social media users divided into camps, passionately defending their viewpoint, while others simply marveled at how quickly a single comment could dominate public discourse. The exchange had become more than just a verbal clash. It had become a cultural moment, demonstrating the impact of viral media in shaping public narratives. Within ESPN and other media circles, insiders closely monitored the response. Producers, executives, and commentators debated the broader implications of the confrontation. Some noted that Clark had courageously used her platform to discuss a topic that is often avoided or mishandled in sports journalism. Others argued that Kelly's critique raised valid questions about framing and context, highlighting the fine line between speaking out and overgeneralizing sensitive issues. The incident prompted internal discussions about interview protocols, tone, and the responsibilities of media personalities when addressing controversial topics. Beyond the personal exchange, the network recognized that this moment could influence future coverage, ratings, and public perception, emphasizing the stakes of live television in the age of social media virality. Fans amplified the discussion with relentless energy. Live streams dissected every nuance of the exchange, while Twitter threads and comment sections became arenas for intense debate. Many praised Clark for her measured yet firm response, seeing her as a role model willing to address difficult topics despite the inevitable backlash. Others criticized her for making broad claims about systemic issues, framing it as overstepping or lacking nuance. Similarly, Kelly faced scrutiny for her on-air critique, with some arguing that she was dismissive or overly harsh. Each side generated content, from reaction videos to detailed breakdowns, fueling a feedback loop that kept the story trending and ensured it remained a central talking point for days. This digital amplification illustrated how modern media not only reports events but actively shapes and magnifies them, creating cultural moments that resonate far beyond the original exchange. At the heart of the controversy was Caitlin Clark herself, whose athletic talent and growing prominence made her every move subject to intense scrutiny. Analysts debated how this confrontation could impact her public image and career trajectory. Some argued that her courage in addressing social issues would enhance her reputation as a thoughtful, socially aware athlete. Others suggested that the viral debate might distract from her performance or invite unnecessary criticism. Every highlight reel, post-game interview, and social media interaction became a potential subject of analysis, showing how modern athletes navigate a world where performance and public perception are deeply intertwined. Clark's ability to remain composed and measure in response to Kelly's critique underscored her growing maturity and professionalism, reinforcing why she is a rising star both on and off the court. Meanwhile, the media landscape itself was forced to reckon with the exchange. Industry insiders and commentators highlighted broader implications for journalism, ethics, and public engagement. The incident prompted questions about how journalists approach sensitive topics, how commentary can unintentionally shape narratives, and the accountability of media personalities when engaging with high-profile figures. Discussions extended beyond sports, touching on cultural conversations about race, privilege, and social responsibility. The viral nature of the confrontation emphasized how a single statement can have a ripple effect, influencing public perception, professional reputation, and societal dialogue simultaneously. For fans, every new post, statement, or interview became a crucial piece of a story that was constantly evolving, illustrating the extraordinary power of media, virality, and public engagement in shaping modern discourse. By the end of the week, it was clear that the confrontation between Megyn Kelly and Caitlin Clark had far-reaching consequences. What began as a critique and response had transformed into a cultural moment, sparking debate about fairness, accountability, and media responsibility. Fans, commentators, and insiders all weighed in, creating a complex narrative that extended far beyond the original exchange. Caitlin Clark's poise, professionalism, and willingness to address difficult topics positioned her as a central figure in this ongoing conversation, while Megyn Kelly's critique highlighted the scrutiny that accompanies media coverage in the digital age. The story was far from over, and every next move had the potential to redefine the narrative yet again, keeping audiences watching and engaging with every development. The intensity surrounding the Megyn Kelly versus Caitlin Clark confrontation only grew as the debate spread beyond sports circles and into mainstream media. Clips of their exchange circulated on every major platform: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, each replayed and analyzed thousands of times. Fans meticulously dissected every pause, inflection, and gesture, debating the fairness of Kelly's critique and the strength of Clark's response. Social media became a virtual battleground, where supporters of Clark praised her for speaking candidly about systemic issues and standing her ground under pressure, while Kelly's defenders argued that she was performing her duty as a journalist by challenging a controversial claim. The conversation went beyond who was right or wrong. It became a broader discourse about the responsibilities of athletes and media figures when addressing sensitive topics like race, privilege, and representation. Each tweet, post, and meme added fuel to the fire, ensuring the confrontation remained in the spotlight for days. Industry insiders noted that this viral moment had implications that went far beyond the original broadcast. Within media networks, executives and producers closely monitored audience reaction, aware that the story had become a touchpoint for debates about journalistic ethics and credibility. Some viewed Clark's bold stance as an inspiring example of an athlete using her platform to spark discussion, while others questioned whether her comments oversimplified complex societal issues. Meanwhile, Kelly's critique raised questions about tone, fairness, and framing, highlighting the delicate balance required in live commentary when navigating sensitive topics. Conversations in the newsroom reflected a broader awareness of the stakes. A single exchange could influence ratings, public perception, and the reputations of both the athlete and the media personality. Fans intensified the debate by producing reaction videos, memes, and live-stream discussions, creating a digital ecosystem in which every aspect of the confrontation was scrutinized. Analysts highlighted patterns in both Clark's public statements and Kelly's previous critiques, looking for context and precedent. The discussion shifted from a simple back and forth to a complex narrative involving societal dynamics, media accountability, and the role of athletes in shaping public discourse. Memes and reaction compilations amplified emotional responses, while live streams allowed fans to engage directly, offering commentary and debating the stakes in real time. The virality of the confrontation emphasized the extraordinary power of social media in transforming a single incident into a cultural phenomenon, affecting opinions, reputations, and media narratives simultaneously. At the center of the storm, Caitlin Clark emerged as a figure of both admiration and scrutiny. Analysts and fans debated how the incident might affect her public image, career, and influence in the sports community. Supporters argued that her courage in addressing sensitive issues elevated her status as a thoughtful and socially aware athlete. Critics suggested that public disputes of this nature could create distractions or invite unnecessary criticism, but Clark's consistent poise and professionalism strengthened her reputation for handling pressure with maturity. Every interview, highlight, and social media post became part of a broader narrative, demonstrating how public perception is influenced not only by athletic performance but also by how athletes navigate controversy and media attention. Meanwhile, commentary and analysis continued to dissect the broader implications of the confrontation for sports media as a whole. Questions arose about the ethics of challenging athletes on sensitive topics, the responsibilities of media personalities, and the impact of viral moments on public perception. Experts debated whether this incident would change the way journalists approach controversial statements from high-profile figures or whether it would simply highlight the existing tensions between media scrutiny and athlete expression. The story had evolved into more than a clash between two individuals. It was a case study in how modern media, public engagement, and social discourse intersect to create moments of intense cultural significance. Each subsequent post, tweet, or analysis only reinforced the perception that this confrontation was a defining episode in the ongoing dialogue about race, privilege, and the power dynamics of public commentary. By midweek, it became clear that the Megyn Kelly versus Caitlin Clark exchange had become a pivotal moment in the intersection of sports, media, and culture. Fans eagerly awaited every news statement, interview, or social media update, knowing that each could shift the narrative yet again. The incident highlighted the extraordinary scrutiny athletes face and the influence media personalities wield in shaping public opinion. For Caitlin Clark, it was an opportunity to reinforce her poise, intelligence, and resilience. For Megyn Kelly, It underscored the delicate balance between critique and perception in a digital era where every comment can go viral. The story had transcended a single broadcast, becoming a cultural moment with far-reaching consequences, and audiences around the world remained captivated, waiting for the next development in this unfolding saga. The Megyn Kelly vs. Caitlin Clark controversy continued to dominate headlines and social media feeds, with every new post, tweet, and clip adding fuel to the fire. Fans, analysts, and commentators dissected every nuance of the exchange, debating who had the stronger argument, who was in the right, and what this feud said about the broader culture of sports and media. Clips of Kelly questioning Clark and Clark's sharp, composed responses circulated endlessly, each replayed and analyzed with microscopic detail. Social media became a digital arena where memes, reaction videos, and live-stream discussions competed for attention. Supporters of Clark highlighted her courage in addressing systemic issues and using her platform to speak out, while others praised Kelly for holding a public figure accountable for her statements. The debate had transcended sports, touching on themes of race, privilege, responsibility, and media ethics, creating a conversation that engaged audiences far beyond basketball fans. Inside media circles, the situation was closely scrutinized. Executives, producers, and on-air talent debated the larger implications for journalism, ethics, and credibility. Some argued that Kelly's critique, though pointed, was part of her role as a commentator, to question and challenge statements made by public figures. Others emphasized that Clark's measured and articulate responses showcased the professionalism required of athletes who engage in social commentary, highlighting the pressures they face when stepping into public debates. Internal discussions explored the balance between accountability and fairness, and how live television, combined with viral social media reactions, can escalate situations beyond anyone's control. It became clear that the incident had exposed both the power and the vulnerability inherent in public discourse, especially when it involves high-profile figures. Fans continued to amplify the story in unprecedented ways. Twitter threads, Instagram reactions, and YouTube livestream breakdowns dissected every aspect of the confrontation. Memes exaggerated expressions, hand gestures, and facial reactions, creating viral content that further fueled debate. Reaction videos not only replayed the moments but also analyzed context, past behavior, and the social implications of each statement. The exchange became more than just a feud. It was a cultural flashpoint that encouraged audiences to reflect on societal issues, the ethics of commentary, and the role of athletes as public voices. Each new post sparked additional discussion, creating a cycle where the narrative evolved in real time and remained relevant for days. At the center of the storm was Caitlin Clark, whose poise, professionalism, and athletic excellence continued to earn admiration. Analysts debated how the confrontation might affect her public image and career trajectory. Supporters argued that her willingness to engage with complex social issues demonstrated courage and intelligence, solidifying her reputation as a thoughtful, socially aware athlete. Critics questioned whether engaging in these public debates could invite scrutiny or distract from her sports performance. Yet Clark's consistent composure, articulate responses, and focus on her platform underscored her ability to navigate pressure while maintaining professionalism, reinforcing her status as one of the most promising figures in modern women's basketball. Meanwhile, the broader media ecosystem grappled with the cultural significance of the exchange. Discussions extended beyond the immediate controversy to explore the ethics of public critique, the responsibilities of commentators, and the role of athletes in shaping public discourse. Megyn Kelly's comments sparked debate over journalistic boundaries and fairness, while Caitlin Clark's responses highlighted the growing influence athletes wield when speaking on social issues. The story had evolved into a cultural touchpoint, illustrating how digital media, virality, and public engagement intersect to create defining moments that resonate across sports, society, and culture. Fans eagerly anticipated further developments, knowing that each statement, reaction, or post could shift the narrative, further amplifying a story that had already captured global attention. By midweek, the confrontation had solidified as more than a viral feud. It had become a lens through which to examine media responsibility, athlete advocacy, and public perception in the digital age. Fans, journalists, and commentators were fully invested, dissecting every moment and speculating about what would happen next. For Caitlin Clark, it was an opportunity to showcase her intellect and resilience under scrutiny. For Megyn Kelly, it was a reminder of the fine line between critique and perception in a media landscape that rewards virality. The story had grown into a defining cultural moment, one that highlighted the pressures, power dynamics, and complexities faced by athletes and commentators in an era of instant public engagement. As the Megyn Kelly versus Caitlin Clark controversy reached its peak, the conversation extended far beyond sports media into mainstream culture, social commentary, and public discourse. Fans, commentators, and journalists around the world scrutinized every detail of the exchange, from Clark's carefully chosen words to Kelly's pointed critiques. Social media feeds were flooded with reaction videos, memes, and live-stream discussions, each offering analysis, opinion, or humor. Supporters of Clark praised her courage in addressing sensitive social issues, arguing that her statements demonstrated maturity, thoughtfulness, and the ability to handle intense scrutiny with grace. Meanwhile, Kelly's defenders maintained that she was fulfilling her role as a journalist, challenging a high-profile figure to clarify her statements and providing necessary context for a global audience. The story had grown into more than a single moment. It was a cultural event that examined media ethics, athlete advocacy, and public perception. Inside newsrooms and media organizations, executives and producers closely monitored the fallout. Some recognized that the exchange had become a defining viral moment, shaping how audiences perceive athletes who speak out on social issues. Others debated whether the coverage amplified tension unnecessarily, transforming a single statement into a prolonged public spectacle. Discussions within media circles examined best practices for live interviews, the responsibilities of commentators when addressing controversial statements, and the ethical considerations of engaging with sensitive topics in high-stakes broadcasts. For journalists and producers, the incident served as both a cautionary tale and an example of the extraordinary influence that media can have in shaping public discourse. Fans and social media users continued to dissect the confrontation in meticulous detail. Twitter threads broke down statements word by word, while Instagram and TikTok creators produced reaction videos, edits, and analysis segments. Live streams allowed audiences to debate directly, often turning viral moments into interactive events where fan perspectives influenced narrative interpretation. Memes and GIFs highlighted expressions, gestures, and exchanges that underscored the tension between the two public figures, further amplifying engagement. The ongoing digital discourse ensured that the confrontation remained relevant, keeping audiences invested and drawing new viewers into the conversation with each passing day. It also demonstrated the extraordinary power of virality in shaping public perception, turning a single televised interaction into a multi-platform cultural phenomenon. At the center of the storm, Caitlin Clark's reputation remained resilient. Analysts and fans debated how the confrontation might affect her career, but many agreed that her composure, intelligence, and measured response reflected maturity beyond her years. Supporters argued that engaging in public discourse about sensitive social issues elevated Clark's profile as not just an athlete but a thoughtful, socially aware public figure. Critics maintained that public debates of this nature could distract from a focus on performance, yet her ability to navigate intense scrutiny with professionalism strengthened her credibility. Every interview, highlight, or social media interaction became part of a larger narrative, illustrating how modern athletes must balance performance with public engagement, social responsibility, and media attention. Meanwhile, the broader implications for media ethics, journalism, and public discourse were widely discussed. Megyn Kelly's critique highlighted the influence commentators wield and the scrutiny they face when addressing polarizing topics. Caitlin Clark's responses underscored the challenges athletes encounter when speaking out on social issues, revealing how public perception is shaped as much by media narratives as by performance on the court. Analysts emphasized that the incident was a case study in modern media dynamics, how virality, public reaction, and digital amplification intersect to create defining cultural moments. By the end of the week, it was evident that this confrontation had cemented itself as a landmark event, illustrating the stakes, pressures, and influence faced by athletes and commentators alike. Fans, commentators, and analysts eagerly awaited each new development, knowing that in the digital age, the narrative could shift with every post, video, or statement, keeping the world watching and engaged. The confrontation between Megyn Kelly and Caitlin Clark has proven that in today's media landscape, a single statement can ignite a global conversation. Fans, analysts, and journalists dissected every word, gesture, and reaction, turning what could have been a routine interview into a defining moment in sports culture. Caitlin Clark's measured and confident responses showcased her resilience, professionalism, and ability to handle scrutiny while speaking on sensitive social issues, earning her respect from supporters around the world. Megyn Kelly's critique sparked debate about media responsibility, fairness, and the fine line between challenging commentary and personal critique. This story isn't just about one exchange, it's a reflection of the pressures athletes face, the influence of commentators, and the power of viral media to shape narratives instantly. Stay tuned for every update, reaction, and analysis, because in the fast-moving world of sports and social commentary, the next development could change the conversation entirely.